My name is Tucker, and I'm currently building out this van alone. The thing is, I've never picked a power tool up in my life.
I got big money. I got big money from all my crime. Where are we going today?
Big money.
We're going to big money.
Actually, we're going to the casino.
We're going
all that money.
Gamble it
all that
away.
money. Yeah,
$8,000. Count it.
Red 32.
We're buying a van today. A van. A van.
Van.
A van. A van. Or I'm buying a van today. But you're coming with
Yeah,
me.
I'm not buying.
Van.
And with that, I was now the owner of this van. This poorly filmed video of the interior is all that I have of what it looked like in the beginning. My first step was my subfloor. My plan was to glue aluminum tubing down to my van floor, placing insulation foam board in between the tubes and topping it with plywood. Cutting my aluminum tubing to fit my floor required two new items, one of which was a hacksaw. Hacksaw, a saw that is specifically used for cutting metal. Sawhorses, folding tables that can be used when set up to place wood, aluminum, any sort of material that you could be cutting. I placed my aluminum tubing on two sawhorses and cut for a very long time. With several hours of cutting done, I was almost ready to glue down my tubing. However, there was a special step that I wanted to take specifically for my van. Gluing together some of my tubing to make a platform where my side door opens. Space is everything in a van build, and the large gap in front of my side door could easily be half the size and fulfill the same purpose. After that, there was one more step before I could glue down my aluminum tubing. My wheel wells need to be sound deadened, so I ordered some sound deadener. I wouldn't be able to reach them as easily once my aluminum is glued in. A thing I noticed a lot in this project was even a small step might take 3 or 4 more little tiny steps that you didn't realize, which can result in a lot of trips to the store. Editing Tucker here, I probably went to Lowe's 10 to 15 times just for my subfloor. So a little piece of advice for anyone doing this themselves: overbuy. Just buy everything that you could possibly think that you need for your project. You can always return it. That's, of course, if you have the money, of course, but yeah, don't go to Lowe's 10 to 15 times just for your subfloor, please. Please. Now it's time for adhesive. For most of this project, I used this Loctite PL Max, but any strong adhesive should do. I measured about 12 inches between each aluminum tube, marked down my measurements, blobbed a ton of adhesive, and laid down my aluminum tubing. This marked a huge milestone for me. Even if it might be a small step, it was the first real modification I had done so far. It was really exciting. Now might be a good time to tell you why I'm doing this. When I was young, my parents did marketing tours, and I spent a majority of my childhood in a car seat, exploring, seeing almost every single state in the United States. I want that back. I want that again. I remember going back to normal life was like this weird, cruel, and unusual punishment. Going to school Monday through Friday didn't feel right. I've never felt the same way that I felt when I was a kid. I want to travel and recapture that, but also pursue new happiness. Find my paradise. I named my van Elysium because it's Greek for paradise. And it's also for my favorite video game, Xenoblade 2. But it's Greek for paradise. That's why I'm doing this. Soon after, I began cutting my insulation. For this step, I needed a utility knife. It's essentially a knife with replaceable blades, and they're extremely sharp. I cut myself accidentally with one of these, so be careful. It was extremely satisfying to see it all start to fit together. Wouldn't you say that I insulate? You know, like insulation and 8. After that came probably the most daunting step that I've done so far. Cutting my plywood. For someone that has never picked up a tool in his life, This seemed like an impossible task, but I started simple. I got some craft paper, and I cut that out to fit the outline of my van. I was going to use that for the outline for my wood when I cut it. Time to introduce two new tools. The first is this circular saw. Circular saw. A handheld saw that's easy to use because of its mobility. The second is this reciprocating saw. The reciprocating saw, a powerful saw that uses back and forth motion to cut. It's extremely powerful and can be used when other saws are not getting the job done. With all my planning done, it was time to cut. Now, I almost injured myself during this step, so please be careful if you are handling these tools and you've never used them before.
I almost hurt myself, but I didn't.
After fitting all of my wood in, I did start to realize that heat or cold could come from the floor up the tubing and then to my plywood, which might mean that if I'm not wearing any shoes, my feet might be really cold or really hot in those spots. So I decided I needed a thermal break. To fix this, I used butyl tape. It's essentially a foam that keeps out moisture or heat or cold. I ended up gluing it on top of my aluminum, and then it was time to put my plywood down. After putting my wood down, I was going to have to screw it into my aluminum tubing. To do that, I needed a power drill. Specifically, I used this Craftsman drill, but any strong drill should work. Power drill, a strong drill. This one specifically uses battery power. With that, my subfloor is finished. And for not touching a power tool in my life, or really anything that I used in this video, I'm pretty proud of it. However, if you're using this video as a guide or as education, there are a couple mistakes that I made. I should have treated my floor for rust before I built over it. Now there's no way for me to get down there and treat it. Thankfully, my floor should not collect a lot of moisture, but for peace of mind, it is generally a good thing to do so. Always pre-drill holes. I cannot tell you how annoying it is to try to screw through aluminum. It is just nearly impossible, and it took me way longer than it should have. So pre-drill your holes, make your life easier. With that, I'm going back to work on my van. If you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, and comment. I'll see you guys soon. It was nice to meet you.
I've just bought the van. Terrible English, but I cannot believe it. I cannot believe it. After all this time, I actually have a van. Obviously, I need to work on it and everything, but I have it. It's like, it's gonna be in my yard, and I'm gonna be able to work on it. This has been a goal of mine for so long now. I'm genuinely so happy.